Welcome to another presentation. This one is about models. It's part of the grammar of Unit 12. Okay, with this. Okay, so which models do you remember? Please pause and think about which models do you remember. Pause, please. Alright, my next question is, ask as politely as possible if you can make an appointment. How would you do that? And would is also a model. So very but it's could I please make an appointment? Could I make an appointment, please? So use could in order to be more polite. Let's have a look at the next slides. And here you see, for instance, you should do that. Should is of course the past tense, because the present tense would be shall. Also would is, it's not in here by the way, would, but would is also past tense. But you don't say anything about the past here. You say something that's generally true, or you give a recommendation, advice. You say that something is obligated. You have to do something. But please rank these. Put the strongest one first and the weakest one last. And pause, please. Do this in your notebook, on a piece of paper. And then we're gonna pause, and then we're gonna talk about the answers. Pause, please. You are not pausing. Pause, please. Okay, the strongest is you must do that. Then you have to do that. Then you need to do that. You need to do that. Yeah, and you have to do it. Yeah, it's kind of similar in strength. Weaker than that, one step weaker, but still strong, but slightly weaker, is you should do that, or you ought to do that. Those are equally strong. Then you could do that, and then you might do that. Yes. I'm gonna explain you now when to use which model. My explanation is gonna be more deep than the book. You must do that. That's from me to you. I tell you, you must do that. It's an obligation from me. You have to do that. That means, for instance, Harold tells to Joyce, you have to be in class before 1:05. You have to be there, otherwise the teacher won't let you in. Those are the rules. That means something objective, something not that comes from Harold to Joyce. No, Harold just tells the way. Harold will tell Joyce, that's the way it is. I didn't come up with those rules. So he will say you have to be in class before 7:05. Then you ought to do that. That's slightly weaker than you have to do it. Still strong, yes. You ought to be in class at 1 o'clock. Look at the schedule of the one. It's an objective truth. There are rules, you know. It's not the person. Harold also can say this to Joyce, and Harold didn't decide that that class starts at 1. It's just you ought to be in class at 1. You should do that. That's equally strong as you ought to do that, but it's more that it's subjective. It's the right thing to do. You should help people if they are in need. You should be nice to the teacher. Something like that. So it's still can be strong recommendation, but it's something subjective. You need to do that. I would put you need to do that can be a little bit stronger than you should do that, but it's slightly different because a necessity. If you're going to do the TOEIC test, you need to bring a pencil. Otherwise you can't do the TOEIC test. You need a pencil for that. So you need to bring a pencil. You could do that. You could do that. You could bring a pencil. You can only also write, bring something else to write with, a pen or something. Well, you can better do it with pencil, the TOEIC test, but you could bring a pen, you could bring a pencil, different options. It also can mean that you're able to do something. I'm a doctor, I could help you, I'm able to help you, I've studied medicine. Yes. And it's also, of course, to give a recommendation. You could go to the zoo on Saturday, you know. And of course, you should go to the zoo. That's a little bit a stronger recommendation than you could go to the zoo. You might go to the zoo. Maybe yes, maybe no. I might help you. I don't know yet. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. That's maybe yes, maybe no. And then you would do that. There's a word missing here. That's conditional. Imagining things. That would be a good idea. But probably then somebody will explain why it's difficult to realize that idea, because you're imagining it. I would go to Spain if I had the money. So these are the models, and now we're gonna do an exercise with this. Find the right sentence with the right expression. I'm already gonna tell you there are 6 in the last part, so not for everyone there's an. But please do this exercise. Find the right one. Should be A, B, C, D, or E, or F. Do that. Pause, and then I'm giving you the answers. Pause, please. You're not pausing. Pause, please. You must be in class at 7. Very strong. Otherwise, I won't let you in. It's from me to you. So it's my obligation. You should be in class at 7. D. Think about the teacher. It is not polite to keep him waiting. It's the right thing to do. Subjective, yes. You could be in class at 7. You can also arrive 5 minutes later. I don't advise that. Please be there at 7 or at 1 when class starts, you know. You ought to be in class at 7. It says so in the official schedule of the WAM. Objective rules. You have to be in class at 7. You have to be in class, I would say, can be different ones. Let me see. It says so in the official schedule of the WAM. Yes, then it's stronger than ought to. You can also say if you don't want to miss anything. Yes. Then you might be in class at 7. Maybe yes, maybe no. This is probably a person who is late a lot. You need to be in class at 7. If you don't want to miss anything, you need to be in class at 7. Otherwise you will miss the first 5 minutes, and those can be very interesting, especially with teacher Mr. Knaap. Okay, do this gap fill exercise, and after this I will go to the answers. Pause, please. Pause, please, and do this exercise. Pause. Okay, 1. You should be nice to her. She is sad because of private circumstances. Should, it's the right thing to do. You can also say you have to be nice to her. You know, of course, I'm telling you the general rules, but sometimes you can use different ones. Or you must be nice to her when you have a strong recommendation to the person. Yes. I might help him. I don't know yet if I will. I might help him. Mercedes, you must do as I say, or you will have to leave class. If you don't do as the teacher says, you have to leave class. That's a general rule. I could do volunteer work. I should do volunteer work. I should write a little bit more context. I could do volunteer work. I could do something else somewhere as well. I could do volunteer work. I'm able to do it. I have the time. I'm capable of doing it. I should do volunteer work. It's the right thing to do. Think about Christmas. He has a medical problem. I could help him. I am a doctor. Yes. That means you're able to help him. If you say I should help him, then you say it's the right thing to do. Yes. You need to be here 5 minutes before class. We need to talk before class. Yes. Or I could say you must be here, but that's very strong, you know, it's very strong. Or you should be, can also. But I was thinking more about you need to, because it's a necessity for you to be there. So we can talk. We need to talk. You must pay the bill. That from me to you, very strong recommendation. Maybe the person will feel uncomfortable because of that. Or you should pay the bill. In England, you have to drive at the left side of the road. Wait, there's a spelling mistake there. At the left side of the road. It's not me. I didn't come up with these rules. Objective rules. Okay. Go to page 110. Do the exercise there, and you can send me the answers by mail. You won't, but please send me the exercises by mail. Okay, now you have also these combinations with not. And shouldn't is less strong than mustn't or can't. And at the same time, have to, you also you don't have to do that, means, wait, if you say you don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. That means you don't have to be crazy. I mean, if you're crazy, it's okay. If you're not crazy, it's okay, but it's not a necessity. Or you don't have to be nice to everybody. That means you can be nice to everybody, but you don't have to. If I say you can't park here, let me go here. You can't park here means it's not allowed to park here. It's not possible. You mustn't park here is kind of the same thing. You mustn't do that. That's stupid. You might break your leg. Strong recommendation. You shouldn't do that is a little bit less strong. You shouldn't go there. It's not such a nice place. Okay. Now we're gonna do an exercise with these expressions. You choose the right expression. Please pause and we go to the answers. You shouldn't go to that concert of that band. They are not so good. I mean, they're okay, you know, so I wouldn't say you mustn't or you can't. Of course you can. But I would say you shouldn't go to that concert. You can't park there. It's not allowed. You get a fine or your car will be towed away. What's that? You mustn't annoy me like that all the time. I really don't like that. You mustn't annoy me. A strong recommendation. 4. You don't have to be crazy to work here, but it helps. You don't have to be nice to everybody. Yes. Okay. So, wait, I think we did this. Now, think of an job interview. What kind of, I have never had a job interview. What kind of advice would you give me on a job interview? What things can I do? And I also want you to know, can I bring my dog? I mean, my dog feels very lonely. And can I bring my dog to a job interview? A present, bring a present. Can you make a recommendation about that? Yes. Wear informal clothes. Wear a cap. Can you give me advice about that using the models? Please give me advice about that. You can send me a mail. I would appreciate that. I don't think you will, but I will appreciate that. So think about other advice, also other advice. What advice would you give to somebody who has a job interview for the first time? Okay, and then this situation. What kind of advice will you give this housemate? I would say you should drink less. You must drink less. You will get into health trouble and all kind of trouble, private problems, whatever. You should drink, really should drink less. Or you have to drink less, or you must drink less. I don't know what to do tonight. Can you make suggestions? Pause, please. And what would you say? You could go to Ronconrollas. You could also go to the cinema in Metro Centro. You could also stay home and watch Netflix. Okay. You can also think about this. Pause and think about this for a minute and see what models to use. You should be nice. You mustn't wear very extremely indecent clothes, something like that. I don't know what. You must be on time. Well, this is Nicaragua, so well, okay. And I think this is it. Yes, yes, this is it. Thank you very much. Don't forget to do your read theory. It's part of your grades. And do the homework quizzes. And see you next time. Thanks.